Hello and welcome to Single Parent Success Stories. Today I have an amazing guest, Christy Holt, who is from Edmonton, Alberta, and she is a happiness coach who helps moms go from stuck and overwhelmed to balanced and confident via a self-love and acceptance journey. After learning to truly love and accept herself and determining she was truly worth having what she wanted in life, Christy navigated a high conflict divorce and is now thriving in a relationship of her dreams. She is a mom to three sons of her own, plus one bonus son, aged 11 to 14, and empowers other moms to discover how absolutely freaking amazing they are. Welcome, Christy. It is a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah. So I ask all my guests to please share their story, who they are, where they're from, what was divorce an accident or single parenting rather, or was it intentional?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm really excited to dive in. I'll give you the Coles Note version, and then if you want to dive into any bits of that further, let's let's go ahead and do that. So, I'm about 4 or 5 years out from my divorce. It honestly started a couple years before that when I started to feel like there was something more meant for me. And so I started to look into some personal development, started to seek the things that actually made me feel good and made me excited about my day. And this actually led me on a bit of a journey to become a coach, where I started with becoming a personal trainer and a nutrition coach. And it's kind of taken me on a journey. We'll circle back to that later. But through that part of my life, I discovered that I'm kind of all right. And I learned to accept who I am, and those weird bits that I was really insecure about, I just very slowly started to release those, let those go, and kind of figured out that life was actually a lot better when I was doing the things that I love to do. So as I started to grow and love and accept myself and see the potential, the possibilities, the opportunities in the world, it became very apparent to me that my partner at the time, who's the father of my children, was not on the same journey as I was. And in the end, I believe it could have gone really either way. He could have very well jumped on board and joined me for the wild ride, but that's not where he was at, and it didn't work out. So in the end, I had to end up deciding what I wanted out of my life, and what I needed was to be me, and that just wasn't fully able to express myself inside that relationship or be who I was totally meant to be. So it was intentional. It was not without a ton of heartache. As you mentioned, I have 3 kids. It took me years to actually make that decision. So I know anybody out there struggling with the potential, I know how hard it is, because you want to stay for your kids because you feel like the trauma of the divorce is going to somehow damage them or something like that. And you feel bad, you feel guilty. You just really honestly want what's best for your kids. But in the end, what's best for your kids is learning to take care of you so that you can be your best self. And whatever that sort of looks like, when you step into your full power, when you learn to love and accept yourself. And I mean, isn't that what we want for our children to do for themselves? We want them to learn to love and accept themselves. We've got to be the first one to do that. So we've got to step into that and own it and show them the way. So yeah, now we're co-parenting for a few years, and that's we'll just call that an adventure. And I do enjoy adventure, so I try to keep everything in as much positive light as possible.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it's so important that you say, first we have to take care of ourselves before we can go take care of our kids. And it could be different for everybody, but I think self-care and self-love is so important. It's not really selfish. It's actually caring for others because you're showing up as a better version of you. So
Yeah.
totally resonate with where you're coming from. I myself has recovered through my own breakup, separation, and divorce.
Yeah.
And started kind of re-educating myself, because growing up, I guess the mentality is that once you have kids, you're gonna have to forget about yourself and do everything for the kids, but if you're falling apart, what kind of person is showing up? The
Yeah,
falling apart version.
yeah, we have this tendency to become martyrs as mothers, and it's not, yeah, it's not, you don't need to do that. So, when you find the freedom from, I don't need to give everything to everyone else first, and realize that you do actually benefit, and everybody benefits from you filling up your own bucket, so to speak, putting on your own oxygen mask first.
Yeah.
It allows everything to run more smoothly and everyone to thrive, really, instead of just living in that survival mode.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you struggled with as you became a single parent, or was everything a smooth ride?
Well, honestly, of course, there are struggles and adjustments in any sort of change situation. I mean, we're almost 4 years in, and I find there are still challenges when it comes to transitioning. My kids are with their dad half time, and so there are still some struggles with different rules, different in energies, different environments, the transition back and forth. But I can say, because it took me so long to actually, get there and actually make that final call, I had done a lot of the work kind of before I made the decision to call it quits there, because I'm someone who will hold on and hold on and hold on. I see, and now some people think this is a bad thing. I think it's actually an amazing thing. It didn't serve me really well in this situation, but I have no regrets, is that I see the best. I see the hope. I see the possibility where a lot of other people don't. And so sometimes I hang on, and because I see that possibility and I see that hope. And I really did that in my marriage. But I also did a lot of the work on me before I was like, you know what, I can't, like, I actually need to be freed from this. We both needed to be freed from that situation. It wasn't serving either of us. So as far as my personal side of things, I felt a weight lifted instantly. And I had already built in a lot of the strategies so that I could deal with the conflict that I knew was going to be happening. And I'm on a journey, right? Aren't we all? At the beginning, a text message would just literally, like, my heart rate would be like, oh my gosh, just a text message, see a email. Oh my God, what now? Right. And I've come a long way. And honestly, I now can almost laugh when crazy things happen. Like if I get hung up on or something like that, I can chuckle about it, because you know what I realize at this point, it's not me. like he's got his stuff and I've got my stuff, and I no longer need to take on his stuff. So it's been a journey. It's been a real opportunity for growth for me. And so for that, I am very grateful. High conflict or otherwise, it has made me better. So
Yeah. What kind of advice can you give to your younger self, just starting out?
Just love yourself, love who you are, embrace those quirks, embrace those things that, like, you're like, oh, I don't want anyone to know I'm weird. No, own that weirdness and just be fully, oh my gosh, just be fully weird, because your weirdness is what actually makes you super awesome. And if you want, I talk a lot about relationship, and I think you mentioned there that I will come back to my relationship, but I wanted to say that if you want the most amazing relationship in your life, you kind of, not to say other people can't love you if you don't love yourself. I'm not going there. That's not true. You are absolutely worthy of love, no matter what you do or anything. Just from existing, you're worthy of all that love. But if you want to magnify that, if you want to call in more love and more of that intimacy into your life, it starts with you. It starts with you learning to love and accept yourself and put yourself, oh my gosh, so vulnerably out there, because that's brave as heck, right? To put yourself vulnerably out there and say, this is me, this is who I am. And when you do that with your full authentic self and you're really showing up real, you call in the people who are really meant for you. And then they come at you with like so much more love and acceptance that it just magnifies and grows from there. So I would say start doing the self work, start learning to lean in to your quirks and your weirdness and your special skills and stop trying to fit in anyone else's box.
I love it. I think that's awesome advice, and we should really tune in and listen, because oftentimes we're trying to be like everybody else. In my journey, I was looking around and I saw complete whole families, husband and wife, and at least on the outside and kids, everything looked normal. And
yep. I had that.
And I'm the crazy one. I'm the one.
I had that, but you know what that was? That was me wearing a whole bunch of masks, right? And putting on the show, and it wasn't authentic. And when you're not authentic, people, people are going to gravitate towards you and love you, but it's not the same. It's not the same as when you step into being you and actually putting yourself vulnerably out there, because when the people love you, even though you're weird and quirky and you have these strange human things about you, it means so much more, right? They're really seeing you, and that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. How did your kids react to you guys splitting up?
I mean, they of course questioned whether it was them. Like, I think all kids tend to do that, and unfortunately some circumstances led them to really think it was them. So I've been working real hard to assure them and remind them that it had nothing to do with them, and it had to do with just their dad and I not being on the same page. And it was better for all of us, which of course they didn't see it as better at first. I think now they're starting to see that we are individually, growing and blossoming in our own ways, and that sometimes those things, like, I don't know, I just am a firm believer that sometimes the breakthrough is just the other side of the breakdown. So when you get past that hard stuff and you push through, that's when you really are going to have that big growth experience. And so I think it's taken some time, and it's taken a lot of, extra reminders that it had nothing to do with them. And it had everything to do with us doing what we needed to do in order to be our best for them. So yeah, I think they're doing much better now. It's been a couple of years, so they're settling in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And things are a little bit different, because now I'm a few years into the most amazing relationship, and I'm so grateful, because I was not looking for someone, but I was full on loving myself. And I was looking for new friends and new connections and putting myself out there, but I was not looking for a relationship. I was working on this relationship right here, the one with me and liking myself. And honestly, that energy just went out there, and I met my current partner, literally ran literally into him. We met at a marathon. He was the pacer. I was racing, and he was the pace bunny for my goal time, which I crushed, by the way. And then we connected after, and there was just something sort of inexplicable energy wise that was drawing us together. And honestly, I'm so grateful. I think he's one of the best people that I know. We lift each other up. We have never tried to change each other. We both came in with that full love and acceptance, and like, this is who I am, and not in a like, this is who I am, take it or leave it, but in a way, in a positive way, like, I like me, and I'm going to keep growing, but I'm not going to, try and change you. I'm going to encourage you to keep growing too. And it's just been amazing. He's fantastic, and he has a son. And so there is also some commingling of these brothers now, which has also have been a little bit of a roller coaster at times. And that's okay. It's to be expected. Like, his son was an only child, and my three have they're a bit of a crew. So, right, the integration, I think, has gone pretty well, but 14 boys is just, well, as you would expect it to be.
I love it. Thank you. What do you think some of the important things to instill in a child? Like, what is the important trait to have?
Yeah, the biggest couple that I would say is to embrace their uniqueness and not take the path that everyone else wants them to take, not take the path that society sort of tells them to take. I want them to take the path in life that's going to lead to their own inner satisfaction, that they can feel happiness, that they can find love, that they can actually express themselves freely, authentically, and receive that love back. And for me, I'm before the personal training and nutrition coaching thing, I was actually a professional accountant. So I did that whole thing where I went into the world and did the thing that was sort of generally expected of people that go to university and get a job and work in corporate and do all the things. And it was kind of soul sucking. And I didn't realize it until like I actually had my kids and I stepped away from it. And then I realized that I'm like, oh, that is not for me. That is not my place in this world. I actually was meant for a much different role. And the part of it that I did enjoy actually was mentoring, coaching, teaching, training. I actually instructed some accounting at a post-secondary level, but that wasn't really appreciated as much in my role as a professional accountant. And so I've transferred those skills into, and it was all not for nothing, because I have business skills, I have speaking skills, I have teaching skills. They've all contributed and taken me on this journey to where I am now. So I just want them to go out there and let their light shine and love and accept themselves, not get sucked into the world and the crazy divisiveness or any of those things, but just really stand as a light and shine that to everyone.
Thank you. I think I love it. And it's so important to let them be who they are, not try to mold them into something that they're not, but allow the self-expression to kind of open up and see how it goes.
Yeah. I just want them to be able to express themselves and get out there.
Yeah. What do you want to be remembered by?
Oh man, I really feel like my purpose, I know maybe that sounds hokey, I don't know, but my purpose is literally to like, I feel like my purpose is to empower other people, because I have been through this journey. I have learned some lessons. I just feel strongly that I am meant to be here to share from those things so that I could maybe inspire or empower someone else to live a better life, to let their light shine, to take off the masks, to be brave, to go be vulnerable, which is so courageous, to discover who they are, to become the best mom they can be. And it's so much more really than all of that. Let your magic out, let that light shine, let that special gifting that you have come out, because frankly, the world really needs that. And you're holding back. I know you are. Everybody's holding back in some way. And if you just open it up and let it shine, man, the world needs so much more of that. So yeah.
I love it. I think I share your vision.
Yeah.
To inspire others as well and let them figure out who they are.
It's better
share that with the world.
Right? When we can come together and collaborate, like I feel like collaborating and finding other like-minded, it doesn't have to be women. Men can coach women too. Like-minded people sharing that vision of, inspiring others and coming together to magnify that message, right? And really get that out there, because for way too long, we have been told to stay small and to do what was expected of us, right? And it's a very exciting time, I think, really, because women are stepping up and we are saying, you know what? I am more than just that. I do not need to just sit here suffering from, I call it just a momitis, not a medical term. But we get stuck in that. I'm just a mom thing. And we forget that we are so much more than that. We are meant for more than that. And we also can get trapped in the whole hustle and grind thing. There's so much this like boss babe thing. And not everyone is made for the hustle and grind. And it's okay to want to have it all and to have the balance in your family. They can go together, and you can do it in a way that's harmonious and aligned. If you are stepping into your actual magic, you're going to find that sweet spot.
Yes, totally. I love it.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you want to share with single parents who are just starting their journey?
Yeah, I would say, like, really, Okay, forget the bubble baths. Like, I'm not talking self-care bubble baths and pedicures. Take the time to care for your soul on a deeper level, right? Find the things that really bring out your joy. Find the things that bring you peace. Find the things, seek them out. If you forgot or you aren't sure anymore, because we change all the time and we're always moving. If you're not sure, try new things. Go out and expand yourself, because actually, kind of a neuroscience geek, and again, not a doctor of any sort, not very sciencey. However, I'm so fascinated by the way that our brain works. But the more you try new things, the more you challenge your brain, the more pathways it grows, the more connections it grows, the better it functions. So going out there, expanding your comfort zone, pushing those limits, trying new things, going on adventures are all going to make your brain function better. And guess what? If your brain functions better, this whole thing functions better. And when this is functioning at your best, man, your perception of the world is going to shift in profound ways, because really the perception that we have of the world is created in here, right? It's not really out there as much as we think it is. So getting this all sorted, taking care of yourself, taking care of what you need as a person, as a soul or spirit, or the actual you that exists apart from your physical body, what makes you special. Find that, build on that, and let it just grow from there.
I love it. I think a lot of times we forget, or we think, oh, new stuff, it's for kids, hobbies are for kids, but we are also kind of a kids on the inside, and we forget about that.
Yeah.
Some of the new things I started doing is I learned how to sing, and it was part of my own recovery after breakup. I was able to sing what I couldn't speak. I started learning new languages. I started painting. So that thing right there, I did myself.
Yeah.
And it's so important to rediscover, and so true about, the new neural connections.
Yeah, it's so crucial, honestly. And, if I could go back in time, I would have started this journey a lot younger, which is why I really feel so compelled to share with my kids about how important it is to love and accept yourself. And for me, a big tool that I wanted to share today, meditation. And now I know you're busy moms. You don't have time. There's a whole lot going on. Your focus is here, there, and everywhere. I get it, because I'm there. Okay. So not every meditation I sit down to is like peaceful, perfect Zen, but it's a practice. They call it a practice for a really solid reason, because as you practice it, you're going to develop those new skills. And so as you practice that, you're better able to manage the overwhelming thoughts, and you're better able to take that into your day. It will help you to approach your children differently, with a calmer, more peaceful, empathetic position, when you realize that they're just struggling too, and we're struggling. So we're all coming together. We're all struggling. We're all learning. And not to say that we're striving for struggling, but we're going to have moments. And really, truly, I think that the struggles are purely opportunities to observe and learn something, to look within and be like, what is this struggle trying to tell me? What can I take from this? What can I do differently? How can I move forward better? But take the time to spend 3 minutes and breathe and calm yourself, because it will change your body chemistry. And then it allows you to go back out into your world calmer, more peaceful, more centered and balanced, and able to just respond rather than react. So I did want to really share that today.
Thank you. I think that's awesome, and it's so important. Meditation.
Yeah. And if anybody's looking to learn more about that, I would be happy to share that too. And, I have lots of tools in my toolbox, because I just think it's so important to get that balance for yourself, so that you can be the best mom possible. Your kids really deserve that, right? Your kids deserve the best version of you, so that they can then be brought up to be the best versions of themselves too.
Totally on the same page as you. It took a while, but I implemented my meditation, and now it's like drinking water. I make sure I got it done every day.
Yeah, I start my morning with at least, I I started more like when I first began. I'm about 9 months I haven't missed a single day. Every single day I meditate. But I start my morning very first thing with at least 10 minutes. I like longer, but a minimum of 10 minutes, just because I really find how that can really set my day on the right trajectory. And I notice the difference when I don't, because now it's part of my routine, and it actually has helped me to really shift that body chemistry, the energy, and all of the thoughts, the overthinking just allowed me to center that and bring that throughout my day a lot better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. So share with us, what are some of the current projects you are working on?
Yeah. Well, this is like bold because I've really just kind of gotten started, but I am working on a book because I really feel like I have a lot to say about how to go from stuck and overwhelmed and anxious and all of these things, super busy, suffering from just a momitis, all of these things, to letting your light shine, to be confident in yourself, to love yourself, to accept yourself, to be and feel balanced and be the best mom that you can possibly be. So this book is coming out of working with my coaching clients and observing, the steps that need to be taken in order to get from that point A to point B. And so I just really felt inspired to write a book, to continue to share. I'm not entirely sure what this book is going to look like. It's kind of a work in progress right now. It's a snowball. It's going, and I don't know what the end result exactly is going to be, but I am fully excited about what that is going to shape up to be. I have some space currently for just a couple of one-to-one coaching clients inside my program that is called Create Your Happy. And so that is a 12-week container of working one-to-one, taking you from stuck and overwhelmed, releasing all of that, letting go of the mom guilt, and in the end, producing someone who is confident, balanced, and beginning to chase the dreams and goals that they really, really desire within their heart, living that aligned life.
I love it. Awesome. If people would like to work with you or find you, where would they go?
Well, you can find me on a whole lot of social media platforms. Honestly, I'm on Instagram, 4F Coach, the number 4F Coach. I have a group on Facebook. I have a business page on Facebook. But honestly, my jam is one-to-one connection. So I would absolutely love it if you send me a friend request. You can find my Facebook profile at coachchristyholt.com. That'll take you right to my personal profile. Drop me a friend request. I would love to connect. I love building relationship. Collaboration is also my jam. So if you're wanting to take that similar message that we were talking about today, and you want to get that out there and work together, hit me up. Let's connect. I want to get that message out there and help as many women as possible to, as you have, Irina, reclaim your life, take back what you are worthy of and deserving of.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your advice and your knowledge. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been really great. I really love having conversations about this and sharing, and hopefully inspiring someone to take even a small step today.
Yeah. All right.